Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I have a design team project for AngeldreamCraftsKim to share with you guys. And if you open up my description box below, I do have links for Kim's shop, her social media sites, which include Facebook and Instagram. I also have links for the other ladies who are participating in her design team, along with links for some of my previous design team projects for Kim's shop. For today's project, I decided to work on some organization in my craft room, and I wanted to not only find functional ways to store some of my craft supplies, but I also wanted to make them pretty. And so I used items from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy to kind of give a little bit of an upgrade to some of my current storage methods. And so right now I'm kind of taking an overall shot of everything I created. On the top left corner I have kind of a little Chevy Chic basket that I am housing some laces that I wrapped around little spools that I created out of Prima paper and cardboard. And on top of those you can see I have some seam binding along with some roses and flowers that came from Kim's shop. And then to tie my laces shut on those little spool holders, I used charms and bulb pins or gourd pins that came from Kim's shop. And then the back middle kind of you see a tall cylinder box, and this was a repurposed or recycled box that I took and I decorated it with some beautiful trim from Kim's shop. And then also on the top hand side I added some beautiful flowers and another bling piece from her shop. And on the inside I'm currently housing some of my doilies. The little box fit some of my doilies perfectly. And then if you look in the front, I have that little metal canister, and there's 3 jars in there. And in each jar I am storing my flat back pearls. And what I loved about this canister is I found it at the thrift store for a couple of bucks, but I wanted to make it look a little prettier, or to make the jars look prettier. So I added some of the white roses that came from one of Kim's flower kits. And then I hung charms and and on one of them I have a piece of bling on it from Kim's shop, and I love how those turned out. And then on the far right hand corner you see an old sewing machine drawer, and on the front of it I just put one of her doilies. But then again on the inside of this drawer I'm housing more of those cardboard spools that I decorated with Prima paper and seam binding, and then added her beautiful flowers to them. And again I'm holding the laces shut around the spools with some of her charms and bulb pins that you can purchase at her store. So I did want to share with you guys a couple more views of the different organizational items that I created using products from Kim's store. And so here was the little box, little round box that I created. And I did create this little canister box. It did originate from a canister of breadcrumbs. And so it did have a nice little plastic cover that comes off quite easily. And you can see kind of the inside of the cover. And then I did fill it with doilies for storage. And then I don't know if you can kind of tell on the sides, whenever I use like food canisters for repurposing, I do go ahead and I wipe them out using like a Lysol type wipe. And then I also go ahead and paint on the inside too. I'm going to use Kills paint first, just because that will stop anything in case it happens to mold or anything. And then after I use the Kills paint, which is K-I-L-Z, it's a paint that you use like on your walls. I do use that first, my first layer, and then I went ahead and just painted some white chalk paint over it, just on the inside, just to make sure that it was safe for putting projects in there or storage without it having any issues, because it once held food on the inside of that canister. And so again, I decorated this whole thing using products from Kim's store other than the paper. So I did start off with some paper. It's Prima paper, and I layered up a piece on the top, and then also you can see on the bottom. And then I also layered up the little postcard cutout that came with the paper collection right there. And then from there, I added this beautiful lace trim from Kim's store. And I'm seeing if I have extras of this, but I don't, it's not close to me at the moment, so I'm not going to grab it. But you can see this is one of the beautiful little Venice types trims that she has. And so I did glue that down on top of this, and then after that, I layered some of this beautiful pink trim that she sells in her store, and she was also selling some blue multicolored ones. And then I also took the cover off and I put this all around the cover edge. And then also on the cover, then I went ahead and added some pearls after I did this. And I put it back on. And once the cover was back on, I went ahead and started the process of gluing flat back pearls onto this trim. And I love, love how it turned out. And so I used some really small pink flat back pearls and then some little larger ones. And so I kind of staggered them kind of all over on that trim and all the way around. It's so beautiful. I'm just thrilled with how it turned out. And then again, at the top, once I had kind of completed the sides and was happy with it, I went ahead and added some flower clusters. Again, Kim's selling some beautiful flowers in her shop. And so I picked out some pink ones. And then I had a couple white ones left over from last month's design team project. And so I did go ahead and add those. And then I had a couple more white ones from my stash. But all the pink ones came in my design team package. And then I went ahead and added some seam binding, which Kim is carrying some satin ribbons in her store along with seam binding. So if you don't have any in her stash, make sure you check out and see what she has. And then also from there, I hung one of her beautiful little bling pieces. It's a little heart. It has the pink in the middle and then the rhinestones on the outside. And I just love this bling. I've had it before. I purchased it before from Kim's shop, but I've also had it in my design team packages. It's a pretty popular one, and I know she does sell out of that one quite a bit, but this was perfect for this project. I just love how it hangs from the bottom of that flower cluster. And again, in Kim's store, she does sell several different color sets of flowers. She has pink, white, blue, and purple. And again, all those pink ones are from one of the sets that I got from my design team along with a couple of the white ones. And so that was the canister that I created. And again, for right now, I'm storing some of my doilies on the inside of it. The next quick project that I wanted to share with you guys, and this one I used some of the white foam flowers I had left over from my design team package last month. And of course, I'm going to spill some of them because this one's really full. And so I did decorate these cute little bottles. And they're housed in this little metal container. And I did find this little container at the thrift store for like $2 or something. And I thought it would be a perfect way to store some of my craft supplies. But I, again, wanted to make it look a little prettier. And so you can see, so I put my flat back pearls in the bottles. And I went ahead and added some seam binding. I added charms hanging from all of them, or little embellishments from Kim's store. This one has the angel on it. And then this one I added the foam roses that I got in my white flower package from my design team from last month. And I added some leaves to them. And so I did the exact same thing on each of the jars. I just chose to use a different embellishment. So this one has the beautiful little pink rhinestone heart on this one. And then this one was the fun new dragonflies that she just started carrying in her store. And so I added the dragonfly onto that one. And so I love how these turned out. They're going to look really cute. They're very functional, but they're going to look really cute on my shelf. Then the last couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys were how I am storing some of my laces. And again, I was looking at different ways to store my laces that looked kind of pretty on some of my shelves, especially the laces that I tend to grab more often or reach for. Those are the ones I wanted out and on display. And so the first thing that I did is I did take this old like sewing machine drawer, and I know it's not gonna show up. It's just a really basic one. And I had purchased it and it was already white when I purchased it. And so on this one I went ahead and added, again, I cut out some paper, some Prima paper, and then I went ahead and added my beautiful trims. All of the trims that you see on any of these that I'm sharing with you today are from AngeldreamCraftsKim. I do have some pieces left over from past design team projects and also ones that I've purchased. And so I did wrap them around these pieces, and I was going to show you what they look like before I wrapped them. And so in the past, I have wrapped my laces around like little mat board pieces. My husband does photography, and so when he cuts out the center of his mats, he is left with this little square piece. And so I do wrap a lot of my laces around this, and it works very well. But I wanted, like I said, to have some pretty organization methods for my laces. And so I like how these turned out. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up cutting out, I do have this die set, and I don't know what the company is. I do apologize. I picked these up at a rummage sale, so I don't know what the original company was. But I did use this one and this one right here. And so I would first cut it out on chipboard, something, you know, kind of like that. And then I would go ahead and then cut it out twice using some pretty paper. And the paper I used, I believe in all these, was Prima. And so I did glue it down on the front and the back sides of the chipboard. I also went around the edges with some chalk paint. And then after that I did that, then I went ahead and added some of Kim's beautiful flowers that she is selling in her store. And this one I just went ahead and added the scissors that I'll use to tie off the lace when I get it wrapped around there. But I wanted to show you guys what one looked like, one of the little medium-sized ones looked like, decorated without lace on it. And then here was one of the small ones that I decorated. And then what's nice about these is if you wanted to, you could use like a little ring like this to attach them all together. And then this one had the pretty little angel charms from Kim's store. And then my next step now is I'm going to go ahead, and I only got 2 punched, but I'm going to go ahead and punch out using some of my paper scraps, and then I'm going to hand write the name of the company. So I wrote Angel Dream Crafts, so then I'll be able to attach these to all my laces, so then I remember where I purchased them also. So I wanted to show you guys those. And then also I had this template, and a long time ago I received some lace from somebody, and they had decorated it. They just had paper on the front and back side. They didn't add the flowers or anything, but I saved it and made a template. So I've been using this also, where I cut it out on chipboard and then I put paper on the front and the back. I really, it works well. And so I also did some larger sized ones. And so I'll show you real quick all of these little medium and small ones that I did that I'm housing inside of this box. I added the flowers, and again, many of the flowers I'm showing you today all came from Kim's store, the white ones, and most of the, and I think all of the pink ones were from Kim's shop, and then a couple of white ones that were left over from my design team package from last month. I'm trying to look and see. I don't think, there might be 1 or 2 of the smaller white ones that came from my own personal stash of the flowers, but I think everything else is from Kim's store. And so this one, again, all of the charms also that I used on all of these, or the bling pieces, were all pieces that came from Kim's store too. Some of them she still currently has in her store, and I'll try and point out the ones that she has in her store. This was an older one that came from her store, and I just had one left over from a past design team project of the little leaf. But again, I wrapped some of Kim's laces that I had got from her store a long time ago that I purchased, and I wrapped them around here. So that's one of the larger ones. Here's this one. It's really cute with a heart bling on it, and again, more of her flowers up at the top. Here's another one with the angel, and I think she still might have some of these angel charms left in her store. I believe she might still have this trim on this one still in her store. This one's just a little piece left over. Here was one of the dangles that she carried, and this is one of her new charms, and she still has it. I love these with the dragonflies, especially with spring and summer coming up. This is a perfect charm for this time of year. And then this one also, one of her laces, and one of the cute little perfume bottles that she sells in her store. And then here was a fairy charm. I don't think she still has these in her store, but maybe she'll get them in again. And this one was an older lace that she had in her store. And again, the cute little flowers, which you can purchase now. Again, she has them in several different colors. And then now I have some of the smaller ones to share with you guys. And she still has this pink trim in her store. And again, this was a little one that she had around Christmas time, this little ball. I don't think she has any of those, but she definitely still has some of the dragonflies in her store. And a couple more. This one was some fun trim, and I know that she still has this in her store, and she has it in a couple different colors. This is like the off-white or the cream color. She has pink and white, and she occasionally gets it in kind of a teal or mint green color and purple too. So, and this one at Halloween time, I got the cute little pumpkin charms, and I had one left, and so I went ahead and added that one to there. And then this one was from a while ago in her store. She had these cute little scissor embellishments, so I went ahead and added that on a couple of these. Another one with the little dragonfly and more of her flowers. I love these little rosebuds that came in the flower kit that I got. And then she also had these cute little birds. I don't know if she still has those in her store or not. I forgot to look, but I had one or two of those left, so I added that one. And then here's that pink tulle trim. And this one I added one of the dragonflies too. And again, some more of those cute little rosebuds. And so the last little few are the big sized. And so I had this cute little basket in my stash, this little white shabby looking basket. And I thought that would be a cute way to house some of my larger size spools that I was adding to it. And then there was a little extra room, so I went ahead and added, I made these a while back as one of my design team projects from Kim's store, and so I just stuck that in here too because I thought that was kind of a cute way to add a little bit more decoration to it. And then on the front of the basket, this is a little snippet, and this I know uses items from Kim's store, and this was created by Amy Love here on YouTube, and she had gifted it to me in a swap. And so I thought it was a perfect way to decorate the front of my basket. And again, the different laces and trims on here and the flowers came from Kim's shop. And so she used a little hair clip. And so that just hooks onto the front of the basket. And I thought that was really cute. And then on the sides, I used some of the doilies I got from Kim's shop, and they hang off of the side. And then again, I'm just housing some of the larger sized ribbon spools that I wrapped. And so here is the first one again with that cute little dragonfly and the different flowers from her store. And I housed a little ribbon behind it. And again, all the laces that you see were in Kim's shop or are currently in her shop. And then here was one of my favorite trims that she had. This one was really pretty. This one was elegant. And this one I added the angel to it. I love that little angel pin. And my plan is to leave these on here, but if I need them for a project, I know I can take them off and still use them. But I figured I might as well put them on these spools because they're really pretty, and I might as well enjoy them while I can. And then when I do need them for a project, I'll go ahead and take them off, and then I'll put a different charm on these. But until then, I'm going to leave all these pretty ones on here. And this is a really old lace from Kim's store. Hopefully she'll get some more like this back in. This is one I had purchased, and I'm hoarding it. I haven't used any of it. But it does look really pretty on one of these little spools. So until I use it, I'm housing one of my favorite bling pieces from her store on it. And again, the little flower is from her flower kit, her pink flower kit. And so that's kind of what it looks like from this view when you kind of angle them. Thank you again, everybody, so much for watching today. I do, again, have those links listed below in the description box that I mentioned earlier. So if you do open up the description box, you will find all the links for Kim's store, the other design team members, and some of my past design team projects. Hopefully you were inspired by some of these ideas on how to create beautiful ways to decorate your craft room, but also make them functional for storage. And so until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.